Good morning, Aurora. Good morning, Aurora. Good morning, Aurora. The time is 9:02 a.m. You're listening to and watching Good Morning Aurora, the second largest city's first daily news podcast. It's Friday. It's the end of the week. It is the 14th of March. Today and tomorrow are important days. We've got something very impressive and very cool to tell you guys about. With me today are Chris Liu and Bernard Goss, here to talk about the ABPNTV Project. That's the Almighty Blessing Network TV project.
Correct.
Now, this is an event that's going to be over 2 days. Now, here's something that's very important before we get started with the interview portion. In the description of this video, and also on the Facebook page of Goodnight Aurora, is the direct link to the casting call for you to apply. So I definitely encourage you can just scroll right down right now and straight in the link to this, and we'll slide it in the chat for you guys as well. All right. So, Chris, how you feeling?
Amazing. Good morning. Aloha.
Good morning.
Thank you for having us today.
Absolutely. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you.
So we're going to talk about the ABPN TV project today. It's at Catherine's Place in Fox Valley Mall.
Yes.
From 1 to 8 p.m. Let's talk about the genesis of that.
So the birth of what's going on right now is really Almighty Blessings. You know, he's a rapper, actor, influencer from Chicago over in Little Village, and for many years he's been a part of the community, and he's actually had a nonprofit where he's actually doing services to help at-risk youth, learn media skills.
Right.
So that led to building a relationship with Chicano Hollywood that maybe Bernard can tell me. I don't know how that happened.
Mm-hmm.
But because of that, we had a chance last year, and Almighty and Bernard formed a team to make a pitch to Chicano Hollywood out in LA to be one of the 3 expansion cities that they were planning for this year. So we worked with them, and we were able to get them as an Chicago and Aurora as one of the 3 expansion cities.
Right.
And Almighty Blessing and his team have been working very hard, and very, very excited that this weekend they actually are going to do their first casting for actors and actresses. They're going to be making a couple of featurette films, and these films are going to be shown to all the different film festivals around the country, including Chicano Hollywood's film festival over in LA.
Right.
And continuing the services that they already do, they're going to make a music video. So with these new productions rolling out and the ramping up production, we need people to come out and be represented.
Right. Very well said. Very well said. And that's going to be from 1 to 8 p.m. And this is just day 1 of it. Bernard, how are you feeling today?
Wonderful, wonderful. How are you all?
All right. Good to see you. Good to see you. So tell us about, your side involvement and how we got to where we are today.
So the beautiful thing about it is Sebastian Gomez, our mutual friend, he introduced me to Almighty Blessing. And we first met. He essentially let me know what he wanted to do. And so we essentially brought together individuals from multiple different backgrounds and skill sets, and we put on a nice pop-up for Mr. Johnny Murillo, who's the CEO of Chicano Hollywood.
Right.
And we put together this amazing 3-day tour, pop-up hosted in Aurora. Then the second day we took them around Aurora to show them the city and all the amazing features. Then third day we took them around Chicago. And the beautiful thing about it is we became his first pick throughout the whole country. We impressed him that much. Then we went to his Elevate event out in LA, and we became the key holders for the Midwest.
Right.
So essentially what that means is that we're able to utilize the Almighty Blessings, forgive me,
Network?
our nonprofit, which is the Almighty Blessings Arts Program,
Okay.
where we train the youth, and then once they graduate, they're able to go directly into productions.
Okay.
Whether it be music, TV, movie, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
And so it came together organically. It was beautiful. Everything just started, puzzle pieces just started coming together.
All right.
And we were just able to create.
Well, that is so that's pretty amazing, and actually, I'm glad that you kind of served that dish up in that way because I think one of the things that a lot of people kind of take for granted or don't know about are all the elements that are involved in creating something good. You know, it takes a whole lot. It takes a willing studio. It takes investors. It takes people. It takes writers. It takes many different things to make a good presentation or a good program. So 9:07 is the time. Nora Peterson is here. Almighty Blessing is in the chat. Good morning to you, sir. And Daniel Calderon. Good morning to you guys. So what can we expect? Pass the mic to Chris. Let's expect on the first day I walk in. What do I see, feel, and experience?
At our casting or at any of the events? So I mean, I first of all, you'll be able to meet Almighty Blessing as well as some of the team that's going to be there. You know, if you're able to, you know, come with any sort of costumes that you want to come, you know, I know that there's no script that's been shared beforehand for anyone to practice, but you know, we're not just looking for actors, actresses, you know, who want to be a part of, you know, what they're doing right now and be part of the vinaigrette, whether it's a main role or a extra, you know. But one of the things I appreciate about, you know, Chicano Hollywood and Almighty Blessing and what they're doing with ABPNTV is it's not just about, you know, representing, you know, different demographic groups. It's also about creating authentic pieces.
Sure.
You know, and that's one of the main things why, you know, they want to represent the Chicano, Latino, and the minority communities. Right. So when you get there, you know, it's going to be nice and warm. You know, you're going to be able to meet the team. They may have some cameras. They may have some lights. They may tell you to act in certain ways or say some certain lines. Expect some photos to be taken, including full body photos.
Right.
If you want to show off your wardrobe, feel free to bring some clothes, show off your wardrobe, show off your style. You know, we want to be able to have fun while we're doing anything. Otherwise, I would not be doing it.
Right, absolutely. Yeah. Now, this is just day one. So the second part is going to be at Pacifica Square.
Yes.
Now, there's still some people who are kind of unfamiliar with Pacifica Square, where it is. Let's talk about Pacifica Square.
Sure. Thank you.
In the context, absolutely.
So Pacifica Square is an Asian lifestyle center. It's right across from Fox Valley Mall. So there's two things that I guess when I've spoken to people, how they remember it. One, it has Best Buy.
Yes.
Yep.
Two, that side.
Two, it's where you go to find boba, you know, around this area. Okay. So those are the two main things that I've, you know, kind of experienced, how people remember it. But we have a lot more going on now. So for the you know, members of the community who have joined our prior events, we do three a year community events.
Okay.
Lunar New Year, that's a little bit smaller because colder.
Right.
And then May for AANHPI and September for Moon Festival. Those are our two biggest ones. So. Okay. May is coming up, so I'm going to do a little promo to push our little May event.
Okay.
So we have been, you know, growing these events. We have over 50 vendors now that come in and have booths at our events. Lots of different cultural performances. We work with the Coliseum and Terry to do an entire cosplay realm with vendors and cosplayers and contests. We've worked with All Pets Wellness Center out here in Aurora to do like pet costume contests, with Rover Rescue to do, you know, pet adoptions. And the big thing we're going to be launching now that we have Sushi Plus and a lot of other tenants in there, but in May we're going to do a Sushi Plus sushi eating contest. So it'll be our first time doing that one. Last year we did a Banchan spicy chicken challenge in May. My God. So this time it's going to be sushi. Okay. Did I answer your question?
You know what you did? You answered the question.
And then I went to my own thing. I apologize.
Right. No. It's all good. It's about Pacifica Square because, well, in the Lunar Fest, what's the event that happens when it's
September?
The colder, yes.
So September was Moon Festival.
That's where Almighty Blessing was at.
Yep.
Right, exactly. Okay.
So Almighty Blessing came to the Moon Festival, and one of his performers, Almighty Simba, you know, did perform at our festival. Almighty has his own label.
Yep.
And then Moon Festival is also where we do the ramen race. So that was our second annual ramen race last year. It'll be our third one this year. Last year we gave away 2 PlayStation 5s, a Switch, and gift cards and all these other prizes.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And also that reminds me, shout out to Almighty Simba and the whole Almighty Blessing team. 9/11 is the time. So don't forget, right now in the description of this video is the Google form link. You guys can click that, go directly to the application, and that will have you fill out the required information. You can definitely check that out. And once again, Catherine's Place is the location today, 1 to 8 p.m. And then tomorrow, Pacifica Square, as told by Chris, same time, 1 to 8 p.m. ABPN is the Almighty Blessing Production Network TV. Yeah. I thought it was like Mo TV,
Yeah.
ABPN. Lorena Baskets is here. Good morning to you. Our dear friend Griselda put the link in the chat as well. And then Monica Sanchez. Good morning to all of you great people out there. Okay, so I want to go a little bit deeper into the why. Now, we had Almighty Blessing on for an interview, and we've talked to the brother, and he's done many great pieces of content. Follow Almighty Blessing on Instagram, Facebook, and all the places, about what it is with creativity that people in underprivileged communities don't have. You know, when you're giving somebody the opportunity to express themselves, how powerful is that? So what does the Arch program and all the other things that Almighty does, what does it give to the youth?
So the from underprivileged, underserved communities, what the program offers the youth is a safe space to essentially be themselves.
Okay.
It offers them an opportunity to explore their passions, to divert energy, to not get into, to take them away from a lot of the negativity of those areas that we all are very aware of, that we don't need to expound on. But it gives them a place where they can feel where they belong, something that is theirs. And we're not asking them for money. We're not asking them to have a particular grade point average. We're saying, hey, if you're passionate about it, it's something you want to do, it's something you want to try.
Right.
Come on.
Absolutely.
And so it's about trying to genuinely give back from a place of authenticity, because myself and yourself, Almighty himself, we've grew up there.
Right.
You know, those youth, those kids are us.
Right.
So we've walked the walk. We know what they're going through. So we can utilize the knowledge that we've attained and the opportunity to give them something to make things a little bit more easier to so they don't have to fight and struggle and so forth. And so
when you want to tell your story, you want to do something. Yeah. But you have no way to do that. Like how am I going to take my passion and energy and what am I going to put it into? When you don't have the thing to put it into, you could make bad choices and go off the correct path. And so on Almighty Blessings YouTube page, there's a lot of videos that you guys can see of different aspects of the Arch program and working with different young people. And also, what's the name of the taco truck y'all got? El Gozado?
That's
because there is a
we have a catering service. That's now see.
We'll put it on Facebook later on. But there is Almighty Blessing supports two great young people who make fantastic tacos.
Yes.
Flacco's Tacos?
There's see, I'm going to miss the name.
Put it in the chat, Almighty. Put it in the chat. Whatever it is. Put that in the chat. Hugo Salter Jerry is here. Good morning to you, Hugo.
I don't want to butcher.
And Omar Navarez, Century 21. Good morning to you as well. The time is 9:15. Yes.
Can I add to what he just said? Yeah. So kind of following up on what you were talking about and why and why APBNTV is necessary, for example, or the nonprofit that Juan does is necessary. So it's not just encouraging the creativity, right? So I'm relatively new to Chicagoland, and it was very, very, very apparent to me very quickly that there is an immense amount of talent here in Chicagoland, right? There's so much talent, but it also means there's a lot of uncertainty on like how they can share their talent, right? So having a platform, just like you're mentioning, it's extremely important, right? Just because they have talent doesn't mean that they know that there's ways for them to try to explore that or pursue that or share that or get others to see their work. And that's one of the things that Almighty Blessings is doing. Same thing again with self-plug, but Pacifica Square and our events, our festivals, same thing, right? It's very important to us to try to be a platform for the community.
Right. No, feel free to, seriously, the work that you guys are doing, the things that have taken place over at Pacifica Square haven't just been for yourself. They've been for the larger group of people, the larger good. They've been for the city, and Almighty Blessings taking part in that stuff. So feel free to plug it, because the Lunar Square event is going to be, it's big. It's getting bigger. Bigger. Yep. Now I found the name of that great taco business. Yes. Guisados El Flaco.
There we are.
Guisados. What's Guisados mean?
Honestly, I don't know. but it tastes good.
Okay. It's a great plug. 9:16 is the time. All right. So on the flyer, it says there's a couple things. So our March dates today and tomorrow are just the dates for the casting. Now, April is going to be the actual production and the actual, physically working with the artists in the slimmed down fashion. Are the April dates going to also be at the same locations, Pacifica Square and Catherine's Place?
Hold on one second.
I don't know.
Yes.
Okay. No, it's all good. I don't know is a perfect answer because we can all find out today and tomorrow.
sir.
Yes,
Yep,
we can.
absolutely. So the ABPNTV has its own Instagram page as well. You guys can definitely follow that and a Facebook page to come. You don't even got to type it in. Oh, that's the flyer?
Yeah, that's why I'm pulling the flyer up here.
Oh, you got
Take a
the...
peek.
Is this the double phone?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, yes.
It's a nice phone, man.
Oh,
Want
thank
to
you, sir.
trade? All right. The projects are short films, vignettes, a 1950 style, hip hop music video, open to all actors, dancers, and background extras. And 1300 Fox Valley Center Drive, then 4360 East New York Street. Now, spaces are limited. You can fill out the form. The link is in the chat. And you can also give a call to 773-485-6614. Once again, the number 773-485-6614. Chris.
Yes, sir.
Quick question. What is the next, with what's being started now with ABPN TV, what's the next 5 years look like?
A lot of
Bring that into you a little bit. Yeah.
there's a lot of things in the works. I mean, a lot of things that Bernard is working very closely with Almighty on. One of the biggest things, right? So what they're doing right now with these vinaigrettes and some of these music videos, right? They're trying to tap into the talent base, which has been created from the nonprofit, giving them an opportunity, right? The next step, showing these things around the country to kind of get more word about what's going on and the production capability and the talent coming from Chicagoland within these communities. The next step is going to be securing, hopefully, some investors and sponsors and support so we can actually open up a full service, production studio.
Right.
So actual big production studio with the connections because of the relationship and the support we get from Chicano Hollywood.
Right. Shout out Johnny Murillo.
Johnny, thank you so much. Juan and the team, even at Elevate, they were able to network with, big entertainment companies. I don't want to say any names in case it's confidential, but very big names in the industry, and just having that ability to sit in front of them, pitch scripts, get ideas, get feedback from these executives and those companies has tremendously it's phenomenal how fast it changes the dynamic of an idea to something that's feasible and getting traction and what's going on. And Bernard has been working very hard helping to set things up and find different locations, talking to different local representatives on a lot of different issues. And so the next 5 years, hopefully we'll have the studio up. Hopefully it'll be full service, not just full-blown movie productions, also things that may be coming from the community, scripts, podcasts, short films, content creators, anything that we're able to build out to kind of continue to make Chicagoland a very, very vibrant hub for the creative community.
Right. A hub would have no, grab the mic because the second part, I'm just going to filibuster a little bit. You know what? It's a hub with more access, I feel.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of creative people in Chicago. But when you think of that traditional outlet, it's always a New York or a West Coast LA thing to break in, right? So I think we've never been looked at as a place where we're putting them out in the air. But anyway, same question to you.
So to piggyback off what both of you all said, so one part, you said the proper word, access.
Right.
So one of the amazing things that we pride ourselves on next 5 years is to have a system of access for people who otherwise would not have the opportunity, who would have to move their entire life to go on this journey of auditioning and trying to maybe work 2-3 jobs just to try to finance.
Living out my car in Santa Monica,
Exactly.
Yeah.
That whole thing. And while that is for some even an enjoyable experience, for others, everybody can't do that. Right. So access is what we want to provide, especially to individuals, like I said, otherwise might not have the GPA or the grades to get into this named university.
Sure,
We're not
sure.
knocking that, but there has to be a space for everybody to express their creativity.
Absolutely.
And so next 5 years, we want to essentially have a system that allows for that.
Right.
Where if people don't have the skills and they want to do it, they can come learn it from us and then go into an actual project and work it and earn money and express their creativity in that. So it's about providing opportunity and that access. And quick shout out to Quentin over at Catherine's Place. We definitely want to thank Chris Lou for Pacifica Square and Quentin over at Catherine's Place for hosting us and allowing us to hold our casting there. They have an amazing menu, by the way. They're tropical. Tastes very good. The flatbreads are amazing. So definitely want to check the menu out and the many places over at Pacifica Square.
Yeah.
But
and it was just a place of they just had a ribbon cutting. They just opened up in the Fox Valley Mall. So it's it's a great way to support a new a new establishment in a brand new place for them.
Yes.
So that's good stuff. All right. So real quick, our dear friend Griselda says the shooting would be South Shore Cultural Center, and the 50s video would be in downtown Chicago and Catherine Place. That reminds me, Jance Owayan, good morning to you. Mary Ellen Barron, good morning. Ginger Ingram, Araya Swan, and Alan Perzusha for Sterling, Alderman at Large. Good morning to you. That reminds me, Almighty Blessing has a great video called Oldies. You guys should definitely check it out and watch it. It is, and I don't want to butcher the correct pronouncement for it, but I believe it is the only oldies music influenced rap in what is the distinction?
So what it is that Almighty Blessing is actually the youngest and only oldies rapper in the Midwest.
Okay, that's what it was.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
He kind of owns that space.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't want to butcher that distinction.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's also known as the voice of Little Village.
Right.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yep. So with that foundation in Chicago and the way things have been going out here, I've seen the success. You guys have seen the success. So it really does seem like the future is really bright, for what's going on. As far as business goes, what's it like collaborating with these different organizations, individuals, maybe a larger or medium business? What's that like in the little bit of time that we got?
You went to Elevate. You want to talk about?
Well, yeah. So it was honestly an amazing experience,
right?
Because it was a place with a whole lot of like-minded individuals.
Absolutely.
So when you think about somebody, you might have a goal or something that you want to do, and you like, okay, I'm going to plot this out, and you're excited about it and passionate about it. To be in a room full of like-minded
those same people,
individuals,
right.
where as soon some of these people you never even met before, but as soon as you meet them, it's like an energy. You connect, bam, and you're like, bam, 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 bam. So it was just an amazing process.
Yeah, absolutely. Iron sharpens iron.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. The ABPNTV is also collaborating with the Illinois Media School. Almighty Blessing is the only oldies rapper in the Midwest and the youngest rapper in the world. That's what it was. Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was. Victoria Halamaldonado, good morning. So as we start to land this airplane, what do you guys? This question, I'm gonna start with you, and then we'll give it to Chris. What type of movie, film, or production should be made?
Something that's real, something that's authentic, something that is something that speaks to people, if you will.
Okay.
And just authenticity, oozing with authenticity.
Okay. Chris.
I kind of have a two-part answer. One, I think, the aspiring creatives should be creating whatever it is that they're inspired to create, and not be afraid to just try it and do it, and we all need to be challenged. In terms of like the mass media stuff, what do I think should be produced? Things that are, things that are entertaining. Something that I enjoy watching sometimes is learning how they use the creative things. If it's not all CGI, right? They're using creative methods to try to get depth perceptions or
Right.
Things like that to create this visualization without the CGI.
Sure.
So all of those like little I guess tactics and strategies, I technicalities, like those kind of things I think are interesting for us to continue to try to push, like how we can do things better. The storylines and the authenticity of the storylines, how the story is written. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'd like to see, I ponder the same. The thing about this show is I ask people the same kind of things that I think about, or maybe the listeners do. Like people will be like, next time ask this person that. So that's kind of where I'm coming from, kind of a in sync kind of thought. But I think somebody should tackle the I'd really like to see a production about the waves of migration of different peoples of color through different periods of American history. Like
I agree.
When World War I started, right? Prejudice gave way to jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And lots of people and their families and their generations of families came from different parts to Chicago, Detroit, Ohio, right? To work in these factories, to build.
Great migration north.
Right?
Yeah.
Somebody should do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be, there's some great PBS documentaries. I'm a great PBS documentary kind of guy, but some young person from like 30th and Harding should do a documentary about that. Like, you know what? I'm going to tell my family story. How did we get to 26th Street? That would be pretty cool.
I think so.
And I think the Almighty Blessing Network can do that. I was waiting to do something like that when I ended the show. So thanks for the setup, boys.
No,
I
thank
appreciate
you.
that. Anyway, Josue Pais says it's about the vibes and energy. Good morning to you, Jen Mendoza. Omar Sanchez is here. Good morning, Omar. And I want to say another good morning to, I did say hi to Araya Swan. Okay, 9:28 is the time. Before we wrap it up, any last words?
I just want to say thank you for letting us come on the show and letting us talk about what we're doing, and hopefully we do get people that are excited to come and be a part of what we're creating out here, and especially come down, even if you don't want to necessarily cast for a position, more than welcome to just come down,
Be involved.
meet Almighty Blessing. If you don't want to be on that part, maybe there's other things that you may want to observe or volunteer or just be a part of. So really do come down Friday, Saturday, was it today and tomorrow?
Yeah.
Fox Valley Mall, Pacifica Square, and we're just grateful to be able to be where we are at the moment.
Absolutely.
And eat good food.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, thanks. Yeah, that was good advice.
Yes.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you guys enjoyed this show. The Almighty Blessing Network is doing a lot of great things. So much good stuff has been happening and also continues to happen. But one thing I'd like to leave you guys with, which I think is important, and Almighty just shared it on one of his TikToks, is that most people, when there is adversity, they give up. Maybe it's human nature. As soon as that first little, right? You got to keep going.
Yeah.
You got to keep going.
Yeah.
Like you need to be able to swim through failure. And you have to keep going. You have got to keep going. Like, don't let your dreams or your thoughts or your ideas or the things that you want to aspire to, don't let them crumble the first time it starts getting wavy. There's going to be a lot of adversity. You have to keep going. That's how you become an Almighty Blessing. That's how you become a Chris Liu. That's how you become a Bernard Goss. That's how you get things done and how you move your dreams from thoughts to reality. All right. Well, 9:30 is the time, you guys. We are going to wrap it up. I hope that you guys have a blessed day, a positive day. Come on out once again, 1 to 8 p.m. The link is in the description to apply. We will see you guys very soon, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the whole weekend, and we return on Monday. Take care of yourself and each other.
YEP gives me a lot of hope for the future, not just here locally, but as those kids go out into the world and they share their perspectives and their passions, it's going to it's going to be infectious. It's going to spread. So they're just an amazing organization that sets their partners and this community up for success. The future of this community, and honestly, the country and the world, is bright with the kids that are on that YAP program, because they're going to save the world. They're doing incredible work, and to just get to know them and learn about their passions was a very fulfilling experience for me. Without the Community Foundation, it would be much more difficult for Hesed House and so many other organizations here locally to enact our mission on a daily basis.
Being a local business in Chicago, we've always worked with community banks, but over time, those smaller banks started getting acquired by larger national footprint banks. It became time to work with Wintrust to meet our needs without having to have that big bank feel.
Wintrust understood what they wanted to accomplish, and they've increased in size 5 times over.
As we continue to grow, we're going to keep needing to borrow, so I'm sure they're going to love that.
Serving their needs. It's really the foundation of what Wintrust commercial banking is all about.